Hey everybody, it's Chad from NatureBox Pet Emporium. It's Friday, so that means it's time for a video. We're going to do another update on this terrarium behind me, as well as installing some more plants and a general update on it. So make sure you stick around and find out what we're doing. So it's been 2 weeks since we did the Nepenthes update, where I told you all about the pitcher plants, and we planted the 6 different ones inside of the terrarium. And so far, so good. They're looking really nice. These pitchers are kind of shooting off there, and all in all of them are doing good. I was at the TTPG conference in Arizona this last weekend, and I took the opportunity to connect with one of the plant vendors there, and I got some really cool plants. So we got these guys, the little jewels, the creepy one, and if you are a plant person, I apologize for not knowing the names of these plants. That is just not my cup of tea. Got this little guy who's really cool, but we got some really nice ones. Let me open the side up. Got some different mosses. So I got this really sweet looking this begonia right here, who I actually got him to take a snipping of that from one of his terrariums that he brought that was for sale. But this will kind of like cover and coat this whole piece of cork. And then another like crawly vine. We got a few different flavors of moss. Got another saginella, and then just in general another orchid type up here. And then what we're going to be working on today is planting some of these bromeliads. So I put one over here. Let me just show you guys in the cork. It's really cool. This cork must have come with a bunch of seeds and whatnot, because all throughout the terrarium these little plants are starting to pop out and sprout. Oh yeah, and then we put some moss over here on the waterfall section. This is a little bit better of the flow. I wanted it more of like a wet wall and a little bit of a trickle than a full-on waterfall. Yeah, I think I've fixed my bleed over problem, and then I've also dialed the misting back. We were getting some water accumulation down here, so I definitely don't want a whole heck of a lot of water down there, just enough to keep everything nice and moist. So bromeliads, the subject at hand. Bromeliads are a great terrarium plant. You do have to keep in mind that they will expand and grow. You can root them from a pup. They are, I'm not going to say they're an epiphyte, but they will grow. If you just were to put this base in the cork right here, they would send out roots and it would grow and attach. But these are some potted bromeliads that I have. You can see I just set that one back there, so it looks really good. Just kind of setting it there, playing with it, making sure that I like where they are placed. Scoot that over. But I think I want to place this one right here, which is named, if it'll focus, the Gene McKenzie type of bromeliad. It's a nice red, purple, orange looking guy. This one's really beautiful too as well. So this one, I think I want to put it right here inside of this cork. So I'm going to show you what we do to put a bromeliad inside of a piece of cork to mount it. And this will work in a piece of cork if you want it in the back or anything like this is fine. It's cool to see it starting to attach and grow up. So everything's doing good, but let's get on the bromeliads. So bromeliads typically are sold and grown or propagated in 2 different ways. Mainly sold. This is how they are propagated. You have like your mother plant, and then the mother plant will send off what's called a pup. This is what I was talking about a moment ago, where you can clip this off right here, and this is a standalone plant. This is a completely different plant from this main mother plant right here. If you were to let this grow, this would continue to segment out and it would shoot off pups everywhere, and then the pups would become mother plants of their own, and they would have pups that come off of this plant. So what I'm envisioning and what I would like to see is like a bromeliad right here, then sending more pups down the way, or it coming off and it, amassing into a larger bromeliad there. And then what I want to do too is probably mount another bromeliad in the back there. I did put in some holes or some pots inside of my background, which I don't think you can see, but there's some pots there. So I might stick them in there, or I might mount them to the back or whatnot. But today we're going to do this one. So all you really need to do, if you're not working with a pup, is basically plant this wherever you want. Since I want this in a piece of cork, what I'm going to do is drill a hole in this. I will take this plant out of the pot, and we'll show you that in a second. This really doesn't have a large root structure to it. It's probably a very shallow rooted plant, but we'll take that out. We're going to coat that with moss and basically just shove it in the hole. It's a really simple process. So let's get this unpotted, and I'll show you what the roots look like. And here you have it, a unpotted bromeliad, and you can see that just right there is the end of it. So this is where it was snipped off, and then it just sprouted a bunch of roots right there by my thumb, and that's it. So fairly small root structure for this plant. So whenever you plant something, kind of get an idea what you want it to look like. So I want it at a bit of an angle there, and this will be inset. So I might drill my hole in this cork right about here or so, I'm thinking. So it will just look, oops, there we go, look that up, so it'll look real nice. And bromeliads are pretty awesome. They're not too expensive. You can see that we usually sell them for about 15 bucks. And then they come in all different colors, and they come in different sizes, and they come in different textures. So it's a really fun plant that gives you a lot of visual appeal. And they are fairly fast growing once you get them established into an environment that they like. They do like lots of light, especially the ones that have color, like these red ones. The more light that you have for them, the more they will retain that color and not turn green. If you have like a red one and you put it below a kind of a not so good light, it'll just want to turn green on you and then die a slow death. So now let's go ahead and plant this guy. So now it's time to bust out the power tools. What you need is a hole saw. So this is a saw that makes a hole. Very simple. So you stick that on the end of your drill. They come in different diameters. I always like to go a little bit larger. Plus this is the only one that I had in my tool bag. So you have a drill bit which starts your pilot hole, and then that keeps the hole saw from wandering in any other direction. It'll hold it true. So I really don't have an extra hand at the moment. The tripod is lost somewhere, so you'll just have to use your imagination. This is about where I want it, like I pointed out. Maybe I'll try and get it started a little bit if I can. There we go, the pilot hole started, so now it's not going to go anywhere. Maybe I can do this one-handed. So that must not be a complete hollow right there, which gives us an opportunity to show you the breakout or the plug. I might have to go get a screwdriver or something if I can't pull this out. Or what I'll do is I'll drill it again, push a little harder, and use the bit itself to rock this out, kind of as a cradle. There we go. So broke that out. So you can see I was drilling into the wall of it. So we got that out. And this next step is really easy. I can do this in one take. Got some sphagnum moss right here. And like I said, this is, again, super easy. So we're going to put the sphagnum moss in here, kind of stuff the hole with it, which is going to give the bromeliads roots somewhere to grow once it really starts to expand in here. So we're plugging up that hole real good, pushing it off to the sides. Now we're clearing the way for the base of that bromeliad. And don't be stingy with the moss. More moss, the better. In most instances. Sometimes I can't think of it at the moment. You know, probably more moss is not a good thing, but in this instance, it is. So there you go. I'm fairly happy with that. So now what we're going to do is wrap the base of the plant in some moss, just like that, and then we're going to stick the base of the plant wrapped in the moss in there. So I need both hands. Alright, and there we go. So you can see I just stuffed it in that hole right there, and then I draped a little moss around the collar of it, and it looks pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. So as this plant continues to grow, and you know, my little vine right here and this begonia, if you focus, you know, the hope is that I will have multiple zones and layers of plants. I want this Nepenthes to grow out and kind of dangle down a little bit. I want this begonia to elevate off a little bit. You know, this saginella I think will be a nice carpet and poke through, as well as this. You know, this little creepy vine will crawl up and I can put it in different areas, and then this will project off of the cork, and it should look pretty darn good. And while I was at it, let me open this door. While I was at it, I went ahead and I added another bromeliad up here, and that was the same process. So now we have 1, 2, 3 mounted bromeliads in here. I have 2 more to do. I think I'm going to do, like I said, one maybe up here on some of these hanging sticks. I need to clean the glass on these hanging sticks right here, and I'll actually take some fishing line. Maybe this one, I'm thinking, would look pretty cool right about there. So I'll take some fishing line, and I will actually tie this plant and its root structure to this stick right here, and then kind of cover it with moss, and then I'll root onto that right there. So that is about that. And as always, thanks for watching our video. Make sure you like them, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend. We have videos every Friday-ish or so, or thereabouts. And we do some pretty interesting things, I think. And we're working on more content. Our biggest hurdle is just time. We always have so much to do. So it's getting easier for us to grab a phone, grab a GoPro, grab a little camera, shoot some footage. And we're getting much better at doing that. So we're going to continue to bring you interesting things from, in, and about the store. So stick around and go on that adventure with us. We love comments below, so let us know if you have any questions about what we're doing here, and we'll get back to you in short order. Again, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we'll catch you next time.